Evening TikTok. I just wanted to come and answer this question regarding the prevalence rates of sexual violence here in the UK, because it is a really important question. As the person asking this question has pointed out, sexual assault seems to be everywhere at the moment. We see it in the news all the time. We've even had politicians debating whether men should be under a curfew or not. Now, the reason that's happening is because the feminist brigade, the left-leaning brigade, have been trying to scare people for 60 years. And they're doing that because they want to smash the patriarchy, which, by the way, doesn't exist. There's no empirical evidence whatsoever that the patriarchy has ever existed. It's just a feminist term. Anyway, if you want to get a better picture of the true prevalence rates, you need to look at something called the police recorded statistics in conjunction with the crime survey for England and Wales. Now, the police recording statistics said that there were 172,000 sexual violence crimes committed last year in England and Wales. But that is going to be much less than the actual true prevalence rate, because as we know with all crime, the police recording figures will only be a tiny portion of what's really going on in society. So that's when we go over to the crime survey for England and Wales, which is just a survey that goes out and everyone answers the question, The crime survey for England and Wales found that 1.8% of 16 to 74-year-olds experienced sexual violence, or at least attempted. So it's not actually completed sexual violence, it's attempts in a lot of these cases. And I believe that equated to around 775,000 victims, or potential victims. Now, the problem with that is that even that's not a true picture of what's really going on, because if you didn't fill out the survey, then you can't have had that recorded. And so the only other place really to look is the feminist research, which has been completely inaccurate and completely unreliable for 60 years. The reason it's unreliable is because they refuse to use quantifiable data. For 60 years, they've said, oh no, that's too masculine, that just takes. We're going to use qualitative data because that's feminine. Qualitative data basically means you ask people questions, they tell you. And that sounds a little bit like the crime survey for England and Wales. But as with all radically left-leaning research, it's not. Because with qualitative data, you can make up whatever you like when you report it. And the feminists always do. So the answer to the question is, we don't know. We really don't know. But it is nowhere near the levels that the feminists are reporting. The reason they have consistently reported super high figures is because they want to prove patriarchal oppression theory. And if they can make all these girls scared for their safety, they'll achieve that. That's all it is.